Hey everyone, Ryan here, and welcome to the MandR Collects YouTube channel. Today I have a box from Entertainment Earth that is like 85% sponsored by Entertainment Earth. Essentially, this item costs $120 or so, and they gave me a free influencer gift card for $100, and I used that, but I also spent $20 of my own money. So this is only like an 85% shill of a video, not 100%, just to be fair. So let's open this on up. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting for the box as far as this goes for a Black Series vehicle. As far as I'm aware, they don't make a lot of these. They certainly aren't very common in like Target or Walmart, if at all. I don't think I've ever really seen them there, but apparently you can buy these online, and I thought it would be kind of a cool and interesting thing to buy out of all of the things I could potentially have bought on their website. I was like, I could just buy more figures, or I could buy something cool and unique, and I went for the kind of cool and unique thing with this Black Series Snowspeeder. So again, thank you to Entertainment Earth for providing me with $100 of the $120 required to purchase this thing. And if you guys do plan on purchasing anything from Entertainment Earth, I do have an affiliate link down below. It should work for any item you plan on purchasing, including this Black Series Snowspeeder, which I'm yet to find out if it's actually any good or not. But on the front of the box, it is a 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back set. I don't know what you would call this in Black Series or set. I call things Lego sets, obviously, because I collect Lego most of the time, and this just is very akin to that. The character, the Black Series character inside, is actually Dak Ralter. I am curious to see, it probably isn't packaged separately like as its own Black Series character. It's probably just all in one, right? It looks like it's got that side red bar art, not like the newer Black Series characters where it kind of shows the character with the background art. It's just like the red thing. See, the other side does have Dak with a Star Wars logo, and then the very back has the information about the Snowspeeder and Dak Ralter written on in there with some interior shots of the Snowspeeder. It looks pretty beautiful. It looks like a really nice display piece, kind of akin to a UCS Lego Snowspeeder. I unfortunately don't have mine on hand currently to compare to this, otherwise I would totally bring it off the shelf and show it to you side by side. So with a single piece of tape, this was relatively easy to open, and it looks like there's a brown box inside. So let me know in the comments like how many of these there are. I don't know if this is like the first of its kind of Black Series vehicle, or if there are like other Black Series vehicles I can get, because if I like this, I would like to get more. This does look pretty neat, although I've never owned anything really even close to this. I know I own like a 2005 ATRT with an action figure. I'll throw a picture of that up on screen now. I remember my grandpa got it for me for my birthday. But yeah, I've never owned anything quite like this, I think, that isn't Lego. So just to give you an idea, this is how it's packaged inside. There's our Dak Ralter character in there. He's real tied up. I was kind of hoping they'd give him a separate packaging in there, but it appears they have not gone the extra mile. It's pretty just standard like toy packaging, I suppose. But it is really like nicely fit in there so it doesn't bang around or anything. So I'm gonna get this all out and show you all the parts separately. So these are all the individual pieces included in the set. We have the tow cable, weapon or gun for the back of the Snowspeeder. You do get two individual Snowspeeder cannons. It's basically like a really big Lego set that only has like 5 pieces. This is going to be really simple to put together, I would assume. On one side, you do have the panel that's kind of blown off with part of the engine or whatever. On the other side, it's not blown off. But I honestly don't find it all that appealing that the parts can be removed. I just don't see the point of it, other than maybe like when it gets shot and you want to show some damage. Perhaps for some people, it's that added detail of all that stuff under there, but for me, it really doesn't matter. It's something I'll probably would just have on display. As far as your character goes, he's got a couple of like, I believe they're supposed to be like guide sticks or whatever. They're kind of like people at the airport would hold to guide an airplane. I think that's what they are. You can let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. And then he has this, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a harpoon gun, kind of like the one that Luke uses to get up to the AT-AT. If it's not, I'm not sure what it is otherwise, but that's my assumption there. The helmet comes packed separately, but it can attach to his head. We'll take a look at the character in a minute, but let's put the Snowspeeder together first. So first things first, the harpoon on the back. You just pop that right in, I think, and yeah, that's going to be rotatable. If we switch on over here, we can go ahead and put this panel in. It looks like it's got a couple of pieces that you're supposed to kind of push into the side or wing of the Snowspeeder there. That's going to push right on in there, and now that I do look at it, it does look like to pull it out, you have a little thing here. I cut my fingernails today, so I need a knife to get that, but it's not on the other side, so it looks like that's going to only be a feature of one side of the Snowspeeder. Pop that right on down, and then we have the two cannons on either side. They look to be the exact same with the same like dirtiness to them, so it shouldn't matter which side you put what on, and just like that, you are done with the Snowspeeder. So let's take a closer look at Dak, and then we'll look at all the features of this thing. Dak Ralter figure honestly looks great. I mean, it's a pretty standard Rebel pilot essentially, but it does look very good. A lot of the folds and wrinkles on his clothes are very detailed, and I've always really liked that about the Black Series, and I say always, but I mean like in the last few months, like it does give a lot of texture to the character there. A lot of small details and things. His feet are very posable. His knees have a very good range of motion, like surprisingly so. You can spin them around and move them up and down at the same time. I find that to be very cool. Of course, a little bit at the hips, but not quite as much. And then the legs above that can even spin, so you have spinning here, and then you have spinning here. Like, that's actually pretty insane posability. And at that, it's pretty seamless. Like, you don't even notice that there's really a seam there to be spinning about. A lot of straps on him, obviously. He's about to hop in the Snowspeeder. He's got his full gear, and then the arms and everything. Like, so much posability on this character. People keep telling me to talk about posability. I'll talk about posability all day. The arms move, they spin, they fold in and out. Somewhat in a way that's unrealistic there, but generally very good. The hands can spin. The head moves left and right, a little bit up and down, not quite as much as I think I would like out of something like this, because it seems like there should be a bit more forward and back range of motion there, but generally still very good. And then of course we have the helmet, which has the yellow part kind of dual molded into there with the visor. You can see how it's kind of see-through clear, which is rather nice. Chin strap, very nicely detailed, very dirty as well, which is a great and accurate look. And because it's a bit rubberized, you're gonna be able to pop this on and around his head, hopefully, maybe that chin strap down to his chin, and just like that, you have the whole thing ready to go, and it looks rather strikingly good. I really like that. So you can stick those in his hands, and he can hold them and do whatever with them, and then he also has this, which he can use as well, so decent accessories for him to be holding. But yeah, my issue with this is I just wish there was a package for me to put him in and display him in versus just like out of the box like this. I'm not a huge fan of out of the box Black Series in general. That's just not what I really got into it for, but I guess for this particular case, it makes a little bit more sense. And on top of that, I'll probably just leave him in the Snowspeeder. So here's the completed full version of the Snowspeeder here, and you'll notice it's leaning a bit forward, and that's because I currently don't have the landing gear down and out, but I did want to just show you the model in a general way here. It's got a lot of very nice kind of scuffs and detail marks to it that you wouldn't find in something like a Lego set, which is really cool to see. This is also in a more gray color. A lot of Lego sets are done in white, but gray is technically the accurate color, although I personally find white to be a lot more visually appealing. So yeah, this gray color is nice, but I don't find it to be like the, you know, I think it works for this. I think it wouldn't work for a Lego set. As we saw back in 1999, it really didn't. But yeah, a ton of really good and accurate detailing in this build here, because what you have, especially even with the cannons here, is they're slightly pointed in, and that is something that the Snowspeeder cannons do. They are slightly pointed in, so that's a great little detail. Just like with the real Snowspeeder, you do have these little flaps to kind of like indicate which way it's basically turning or whatever. So on both sides, the flaps can pop out and open just like that. There's a bit of extra detailing inside of them, but it's nothing I would say is super important. I just like the functionality of it. And they close back in, and everything kind of clips in. When everything's clipped in, this thing looks pretty sleek. So flip it around back here, you can see kind of like the grill pattern of the rear there. You have like the tow cable, and then you have the gun to shoot the tow cable. However, I can't get this thing to like attach to the dang thing, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be something that works like that. I see it actually attaches onto the side here. That's a little bit odd because it's supposed to shoot out the front. Maybe I just have a misunderstanding of how this is supposed to work, but I mean, this can shoot out. It's got a full cable that goes pretty lengthy here. I mean, you can see that could probably get around maybe one leg of an AT-AT. I'm not really sure. It's kind of a pain to like get to go back in though. I find that this is a bit annoying to kind of push back inside of there. So to access that compartment, you got to flip the ship upside down, and you'll see this little panel here. You can pull away at it. Sometimes you might need a knife to get at it. Depends on how short your fingernails are. But you can see in here is the other side of the cable, which you can basically pull all the way through, and you'll see it pull taut on the other end eventually. I'm not sure where the cable is in between there, because obviously it was pulling for quite a while, but not actually pulling on this. So there must be some more space there that I'm just unaware of. But as far as like an actual spot where the cable shows up, it definitely definitely is in here as far as like where it's mainly stored. There's something in between that it is being held at. You can see these little flaps in the bottom have some movement to them, but we do want to see the landing gear, right? So you can see there's 3 very distinct spots where the landing gear is going to be able to pop out. And I've had trouble opening this. It's a very tight connection they have when you close everything up. So I'm going to grab a knife actually to pop these open. So I think the strategy with opening these is to open the inside flap first, because this one's kind of loose. The other one is attached to the actual landing gear piece, which I found kind of interesting. You can pop it out way easier. It kind of locks into place. It's not a particularly strong lock because you can see it still really easily kind of flows back in towards the ship, which I don't really like, but hey, it is what it is. Again, get this inside one first. I also find that it's relatively easy to like knock these out of place. Like this will detach somewhat easily. Maybe I can't get it to do it now, but you know, off camera I was fiddling with it and it happened quite a bit. Again, kind of lock it into place and it will hopefully not jump out of the way for you. And you have 2 on the front here, which are going to open independently and then release the landing gear out of the bottom just like that. It's kind of the front center landing gear, and you have your 3-point accurate landing gear system. And so when you flip the Snowspeeder over, you can drop it down its landing gear, and now it's flat and it's not leaning forward onto the table, which I really, really like. So very solid landing gear. It isn't like great because it will kind of push in on itself sometimes if you move the ship around too much. Working into the cockpit here, it's a beautiful design. I have a ton of trouble trying to open it by hand. So again, the knife is going to come in handy. And again, you can see the landing gear has fallen off to that side. Getting this thing open is a pain. I did it a little bit off camera, and I don't know why it is, but these pieces just seem to want to really stick in there. But when you do have the ability to open it, it does open very nice and smoothly, and it kind of locks back a little bit in that back position up like so. I really do like the way that it looks when it's locked up like that. I think it's a great fully functioning Snowspeeder cockpit piece that just is perfectly shaped and all the jazz. Like, it's got it all. So that's very nice. Now, the interior of this Snowspeeder is incredibly detailed. You've got tons of little panels and markings with different colored dots and whatnot, I suppose, to represent what they're supposed to do. You can see the control panel in the back for controlling the harpoon. Unfortunately, moving these or anything doesn't actually control this, but yeah, that's fine, whatever, not a huge deal. But yeah, that's a nice little bit of detail in the back there. And then, of course, you have the straps for your pilots with the kind of like 2-in-1 seat for the Snowspeeder. I always thought that was kind of cool with the back-to-back look to it. And you can actually pop these off, so you can pull up and away if you want to get a pilot in there. And since we have Dak Ralter, we'll actually try to stick him in the back here. And I'm not sure how easy this is going to be. This is my first time ever trying to put him in here. It's probably just about as easy as it is to put a Lego figure in something like this, and yeah, it does fit right in. And then hopefully we can get the straps back on around him so that he's safe, just like so. 1 and 2, done and done. So that actually fits in really nice, and you can actually drop this down and around him. He'll fit right in there perfectly fine. Not going to be in the way of anything. You can kind of only hardly see him through there because it's kind of like this frosted glass look a little bit to it. It's not like a perfectly clear glass paneling here, although it's made of plastic, I suppose. But yeah, still very, very nice and detailed. I do wish we had a Luke Skywalker to kind of man up the front of the ship, but you'll have to buy that separately. Now, the final thing I really have to say about this interior bit here, you actually do have a few more of those things that Dak was given to hold, and you actually have an empty spot for 1 on each side. So you can fit them in there for storage, which is good. I do like having the storage option for that. And well, I'm not exactly sure where this is supposed to go. We'll just plop it down inside of here so that it's out of my way. So let's lock this into place, 1 and 2 like that. And let's see if it's even possible for me to open by hand. Probably not. I had to use the knife. Yeah, these things, I don't know what it is about this. It's just really, really tough to open. I can't open it by hand. So you're going to need some type of tool, very likely a flathead screwdriver, a knife, whatever you got to open this up. For $120, I think this is pretty reasonably priced. You get 1 Black Series character, which is essentially worth $20, and then you could say the whole Snowspeeder itself is worth $100. And I think that's fair. It's a very large model, and it's incredibly well detailed. It's probably one of the more accurate things you can buy for the price. I mean, comparatively, the Lego UCS Snowspeeder is $200, and while it may be a more fun experience, it may be more fun for you to display, whatever the case may be, and I would certainly agree with that. For me personally, this thing is going to be more accurate, and at just about half the price. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't look at this and be like, oh yeah, I want the most accurate thing I can get. Let me get that type of deal. If you guys are interested in buying this, you can check out my affiliate link down in the description below. Entertainment Earth, again, did provide me with most of the funds to purchase this, so I really appreciate that. I think this is a cool thing. I just don't think it's probably for everyone. It's certainly not Black Series in the way that I collect the figures for Black Series. Like, there's not like a cool packaging I can keep this in where I can still see it. And as you can see, the landing gear, untouched, just fell in. So landing gear probably the biggest problem with this set in my opinion. Maybe opening things is a whole other issue, but landing gear is kind of annoying, to be honest. Like, I hate how often it will just drop down and now it's lopsided. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to see more Black Series and other types of collectible videos there. You got more stuff coming down the pipe for sure in 2021 and beyond. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.